Kyrie, why don't you tell me a little bit about yourself?
So my name's Kari. I just graduated high school. I just turned 18 at the same week. So I like to design clothes. I like to inspire people, and that's kind of my dream at the moment is to be an inspiration to others. And I work for Cookout at the moment, just learning and taking in the environment and getting a paycheck. And I just want to do more in life, especially with finances. I feel like there's a lot of people struggling, and I know from experience that people everything is not peaches and cream and everything don't always go your way. So I would like to at a young age get somebody to coach me into being better with my finances than I can coach myself or I can learn myself so that I don't make the same mistakes as others and I can be financially successful in the future.
Yeah, I think that's great that you don't want to make the same mistakes as others, that you want to be financially successful in the future and you want to help pull others up. Can you tell me a little bit more about that? About what makes you it seems very intuitive to me that you don't want to make the same mistakes as others. Why? What's happened to you in your life where you're seeing that you saw some mistakes? Can you tell me about a mistake you saw?
So personally, me, it's like I don't know. I feel like I was very intuitive as a child, and especially growing up, because the way I had lived with my grandma instead of my parents, I feel like that switch over made me realize like some people can't support you as much as others. So it's like when you seeing that and you still seeing people struggle in like your household and things of that nature, and they still providing, I feel like I don't want to have that struggle to work as much so I can provide for my children. So it's like I know what I've been through, and I've seen what others like my peers has going through in public schools and things of that nature, acting out because their parents can get them certain things, and I just don't want that for my children. I just want them to be able to be smart and intelligent with money, so they don't have the same problems as other people.
What do you think that would look like? Well, let's say you're 35. Okay, you have a 10-year-old and an 8-year-old at your home. You're married. What do you think that would look like for you to provide for your family?
Me personally, I want to be the sole provider, but not necessarily as in all of the income in total. But I would like to pay most of the bills. As a man, I feel like that makes me feel powerful if I pay most of the bills, and it'll make me feel like make me feel good to have a wife that doesn't have to worry about finances like my mom did and like my parents did and things of that nature. And my kids don't want to have to worry about that. So for me, what I would want it to look like is for them to have a stable home where they don't have to worry about food on the table, a roof over their head, or clothes over their back. And if I get that done, I feel like I've done my job.
How did you worry about things like that when you were growing up?
So growing up, I really didn't have to worry about them things like I did, but not necessarily as bad as other people. If you get what I'm saying, like my mama worked hard to provide, so the harder she worked, the more she provided. So it's like she would go to work during the day, come home and take care of us during the night, and then she switched that up so she could take care of us during the day. And it's like it was hard on her to be the sole provider. But I feel like since she is the sole provider, that it's okay that we didn't have like all the shoes that we wanted, or didn't have all the clothes on our back that we wanted. So I realized most people didn't have that at all, and most people turned to other solutions to get them certain topics. So it's like just because I didn't have new Jordans on my feet doesn't mean I didn't have somebody that loved me and was able to give me the N1s, if you get what I'm saying. And if I wanted the new Jordans, I have to go out and work for them.
How do you think that changed you?
I feel like it made me work harder because at 16 years old, I feel like I got a job and started working overtime just to get what I wanted, and I don't like settling. So I work as hard as I can to get what I want. I work every day. So it's like I feel like it changed me as a person because I don't feel comfortable going home without saying that I did something for the day. Now I don't feel comfortable sitting in the bed all day while my mama at going to work and coming home just to provide for me and my sibling. So personally, I just want it bad enough where one day she doesn't have to. She's not gonna have to do that in the near future.
Do you see yourself providing for her in the future?
Yes.
Yeah. How soon?
Not medically, no. I feel like she got some years on her. So medically, no, but in the near future, I would say my near future is 15 to 20 years.
Okay. So let me ask you again. You might have another answer at this point. Um, why do you want to be financially successful?
But I don't want to have a stressful life, if that makes sense. Like I do with not mind stress, but I'd rather have people issues than money issues, if that makes sense.
Yep. You want the stress that you created yourself,
Yes.
right? Not the stress that gets created around you. You want to be able to rely on yourself and
Hmm.
have all the stuff in place so that if anything goes wrong, you know you're going to be okay
Yes.
and your family is going to be okay.
Exactly.
Can I talk to you about a framework that will help you get there? Just we're going to fill it in, but it's a framework, and we'll talk about things in other meetings. We'll talk about things like insurance, but I want to just present. I'm not going to share my screen or anything. Just talk through some steps
Mm.
and ask you where you are in those steps.
All right.
Okay. So this is adapted from, and I'll give credit where credit's due. It's adapted from Dave Ramsey's Baby Steps, but he hasn't updated them in around 20 years. And the world has changed. COVID taught us a few things. So I changed them a little bit. So the first one, and this is for personal finances. The first one is save $2,000 for an emergency fund.
All right.
Okay. The second one is pay off all debt. Do you have any debt, Kyrie?
No.
Perfect. So you can skip step two. The third one is save a 4 to 6 month emergency fund of expenses, and we'll figure out what that is in a little bit. Do you have any questions about that?
No, I feel like I get the gist.
Yeah. Then the fourth step is save at least 15% of your income for retirement or early retirement, and we can talk about that and what that looks like. I personally save a lot more than 15% because I don't want to wait until I'm 65 to retire.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I want to be I'm independently wealthy so that my family doesn't have to worry about money and shortly. So we can talk about that and how much that 15 plus is for you. Okay. Step number 5 is save for your kids' college education or your own, depending on what you decide to do, and we can talk about that as well. Okay. Step number 6 is pay off your mortgage early with kind of whatever's remaining as you're saving for retirement or early retirement. It's like, all right, what do you have left over? What can we throw at the mortgage? And we'll talk about that too, because there's a trade off there, and it has everything to do with personal risk. Okay, but at that point as well, when we're talking about that, we're going to start talking about insurance because that whole discussion is a risk discussion,
All right.
and risk can be mitigated in certain ways through insurance. Just want to make sure that you know how that world is all set up and what your best options are there. So, as an entrepreneur, there are some insurances that you should have, and we'll talk about that. Okay. So, and it's all based on your structure and you and your business. Okay.
All right.
Do you know what insurance is?
I say liability coverage. Like, say if something happens, you have insurance to accommodate.
Yeah, it's a transfer of risk. So, say like long term disability insurance. Say something were to happen to you and you can no longer like use your hands, or something happens, I don't know, you're incapacitated in some way and you're not coming back from it. Long term disability insurance would take your current income and replace 60 or 65% of it. That's a particular insurance that entrepreneurs should have. people who work a full-time job with benefits get it covered through their employer.
Okay.
Okay. So we'll talk about all those little things that are going to kind of cover your defense, but we're going to start with your offense.
All right.
The last step is just have fun. Keep it up. Give money away because that's actually a lot of fun. Help other people. Have fun yourself. So I've worked with people who are multimillionaires, and their idea of fun. One of them took their whole family on one of those Norwegian cruises through
Man, that's a
Europe.
lot of fun.
Yeah, I was like, how much did that cost? Like, oh, I don't want to tell you how much it cost. But, it was like $30,000. So
Okay.
yeah, something like that. Anyway, super fun. Super fun to get to that step. So how does all that sound to you, that framework?
Sounds amazing.
Yeah.
I feel like we should get into more detail in that next time.
I think we will. We will. We'll keep coming back to it and we'll fill it in with all the details so that you know what you're doing.